Corporal David Cohen glanced at a clock showing Coalition Mean Time, or CMT, the standard metric for all CDF ships. "It's time for morning prayers, but there's no way I can make it to the shoal and still keep on schedule for our repairs." An Orthodox Jew, he was heartsick when he couldn't make it to prayers. Taking a moment before heading to his post, David stood and prayed quietly. "May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord shine his countenance for you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his favor upon you and grant you peace." The prayer was from the book of Numbers in the Torah. "I hope someday we can have peace, but the ship isn't going to repair itself." David hefted his work belt and made sure it was strapped correctly around his waist. Fit, tall, and 6 months out of boot camp, he'd kept his physical condition with a daily exercise regimen despite the challenges of life in the fleet. His ship, the Coalition star vessel Artemis, was a small frigate specializing in point defense, assigned to space battle groups centered around a Saratoga-class fleet carrier engaged in combat operations against their enemies, the League of Sol. Making good time moving about the ship, David walked the passageways like a practiced professional, even after only a few months of being stationed in the fleet. Given a battlefield promotion to corporal, his duties now consisted of leading a damage control team during and after battle. This shift, they were working on a section of the ship that had experienced total loss of pressure and significant battle damage in their last engagement. Today's task was to replace piping and wiring bundles throughout the damaged bulkheads and overhead after the hull patching had been completed the day before. A young private from New Washington, Everard Beckett, groused as he pulled another length of burnt cabling out of the wall. "Corporal, can't we just patch this stuff on the surface and wait for an overhaul to make it look pretty?" David narrowed his eyes as he pushed through another bundle of wire. "While we're at it, why don't we just leave the holes in the side of the ship? I mean, we've been disabled 4 times in the last 3 weeks. Wouldn't want to do it right so the ship is at maximum combat effectiveness for the next time we fight the League, would we?" Private Rachel Munford laughed. "There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another attempt at cutting corners smacked down by our esteemed corporal." David snorted as he pulled open another wiring tray. "I don't know why I bother with you, Beckett. You'll be someone else's problem in a couple of years anyway." "Oh yeah, we know you want to get out, Corp," Beckett said. "If I had a credit for every time you told us about your big plans to be a rabbi, I could buy one of these boats and go into business for myself, privateering League ships." "Are you daft, Beckett? The League doesn't have any merchant ships on this side of the galactic arm for us to privateer," Munford said. "I'm just glad we're out of the front lines for a few days while we get repaired. Being able to relax and actually take a shower is nice. Sometimes it really is the little things in life." "How about less jawing and more pulling cable so we can still get to the mess while hot food is being served?" David snapped. "Aye, aye, Corporal," Beckett said, redoubling his efforts to pull the burnt cable out of its housing. Over the next hour, the team worked their way through the passageway, and David noted with satisfaction they were far closer to restoring the cabling to a functional state. Just as he was going to order a break for chow, the alert klaxon sounded. Without needing an order, the team picked up tools and loose materials. The commanding officer's voice suddenly boomed across the ship-wide intercom known as 1MC. "Attention all hands, prepare to repel boarders. I say again, prepare to repel boarders." David instantly recognized the voice of Major Benson Pipes, and his mind leaped into overdrive. "Beckett, Munford, weapons locker, now." A look of fear crossed Beckett's face. Corporal, we're not Marines. Shouldn't we fall back to a protected space?" In truth, David was terrified not only of the enemy but also for the lives of those under his command. He resolved not to show it and press on. "No, we can't chicken out here, Beckett. We've got to bottle up any hostiles until our Marines can get here and save us. Let's go." Leading the team to the nearest weapons locker, David entered his access code and swung the door open. He quickly passed out armored vests to each, followed by particle beam sidearms, battle rifles, and magazines. Only one pulse grenade. I guess the sergeant-at-arms didn't restock this one properly." He took the grenade for himself. Beckett threw an armored vest over his head, securing the straps around his chest. "Only thing worse than corporals are sergeants. Present company excluded, of course." "Of course," David said, as he inserted a magazine into his battle rifle while the others followed suit.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.